please, everyone, aboard the transportation vehicle provided by the Lykaios Legion. It is not a battle bus. It could be, but it is not. Everyone, please take a seat and remain seated until we are about to leave. Let's go. They're suffocating from lack of oxygen. I gotta close the door.
You just gotta love.
All right. Does everyone sit down?
All it would take is a single missile right now, and one person could kill every single member of every single faction and control it for the
Kill feed. What a KD. That's all I'm gonna say to that.
Very, very
101 KD.
confusing at the same time. So.
Alright, I'm gonna have you guys a nice view.
Alright, whoever's like unpacking Christmas decorations, can you do that?
Now we're at 22% hydrogen, but that should be enough to get us home.
Actually, 21% hydrogen, but okay.
You know what?
And
It's
drop.
okay.
Doesn't matter.
I think we have enough for a return trip.
Matter of perspective.
Someone needs to fill you up.
Yeah, we can always get out and push.
Was that the sound of hydrogen I just heard?
We are.
No, that sounded like a very
We're here.
squeaky surprise butt sex.
Alright, everyone, exit to the left.
Everyone into a rehabilitation center.
Alright, please line up here in front of the.
Single file, please.
Alright, do not
You don't
approach
want
the
that
tube.
many things in your hole, do
Do
you?
not approach the tube. Come back to me.
Calm down, Shadow. Calm down.
Do not approach the tube.
Don't approach the tube because we're about to initiate the entrance to Ice Fortress 1.
Let me open
Oh
it.
god,
Oh god.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
That is the worst.
Down we go.
Music.
the robot is here.
No,
Welcome
that's
to
not
Ice
bad.
Fortress 1, the most heavily defended underground
follow
bunker
that.
in the known SE server.
Ah, now we know what causes the lag.
Yeah. The giant Mars moon base. It's just you've hollowed out the whole moon, haven't you? There's nothing left.
Alright, please exit to your... Enter the meeting area.
Death Star.
Once everyone's here, we will seal us in.
Center.
I died.
Well, you can fly down from top.
This is basically like the Senate.
Holy
Yes.
shit, this is a massive hole.
I would like
All we
to
need now is a floating platform.
Alright. Representatives, please sit in the first row. All of the spectators and those who are not representing their factions sit in the second row, if there's space.
fucking
And we will begin our meeting in 2 minutes.
Great.
to abandon ship.
Woo.
Prepare
It's
for
okay.
a low
We're in a
back.
bunker. I care not.
Prepare for litho breaking.
Alright.
Prepare for bunker busting.
So, I'm going to begin this meeting. There's
the
3
turrets
topics
on.
we're going to
Go
be
on.
covering today. The first and the foremost is I want to establish a neutral station that we can come to dock and trade. Now, we're going to take a turn from each representative from each faction to voice their opinions on why that should or should not be a good idea, and what they can bring to the table in terms of resources or manpower. Now, I speak for the Lykaios Legion. We are a small group of well-trained and obviously very lucratively dedicated people, as you say. We built this in a day and a half. Just for you. Now. Sorry, I got a message. Now, we will personally bring to bear as much resources as we can produce. We can help design and build the station and do protection. I think we can, with our new fighter design, which some of you have had the displeasure of testing out, as I do say so myself. With our new fighter design, I think we can be proper policing patrol around the station in case anyone overly hostile PDF comes in to lay claim.
What? Please remain civil. Please remain civil in the hole.
Alright, who wants to go first in discussing what they can bring to bear?
Not me.
Alright, I'll choose a random then. A representative from HON, please step forward.
HON? That's me.
Please
What?
go into the ring here.
Well, I'm the representative of the Hand of Nod. We are a relatively small faction, so we have small groups on Earth and Mars, and have little manpower, but capabilities to mine lots of resources. So I think, resource-wise, we could assist.
What about manpower?
Manpower, we are about 5 or 6 men. Or women.
Okay.
Let's just say persons.
Now, what is your personal opinion on the establishment of a station? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I'm kinda struck in between. I'm not really sure yet. The general idea is good, but it depends on the execution.
I agree. Alright, who's up next?
If you want, I'll go next.
Very well.
Can you walk forward to the thing for us, because I'm not in game?
I like how Byrne doesn't have the authority to speak for you.
We at AGF are very well established, as we are. We currently have more than an abundance of components, ammo, and ships. We also have the manpower and quick responsibility or response time to get anywhere within 1,500 kilometers within about 5-10 minutes. And that would be at most all of 6 of us, or minimum 3 of us.
Okay. And do you think personally that your faction would be well equipped in dealing with unruly people who may try and assault a station?
Easy.
Oh, this I want to see.
Give me 5.
You know, it's not when Jack speaks up.
I can bring said station being built, and when can I record it? I'll bring the cheddar back.
Alright, who wants to go next?
We're currently working on a new battlecruiser design as well, which we will hopefully, when I get a chance to actually get in game, we'll be starting to bring in our new battlecruisers soon.
I do want to know, nobody mind the person in a jetpack currently descending towards the station? That's me, I finally got in the game.
It's okay, I'm allowing people access.
And in true Exio fashion, I have decided to travel via jetpack down.
Okay, so what he just told me is he'd like to go next, and so get up here.
Sure.
Since you're gonna be late,
I will have to reach the station, but
will you explain to the class why you're late, please?
because the Exio is best described as a band of merry fools led by a barely competent engineer named the Odd Oracle.
This is truthful.
How many people do you have in your group, and what resources can you bring to bear?
Technically, like 7 or 8, but only active we've only got 3. And I'm kind of the unofficial leader because the leader's never here and I'm the only one that does anything. So I represent them.
Does anyone else want to reference or speak on the terms of creating a station real quick before we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, I
might
will.
have something.
Who? Step forward. Wherever you be.
Will it be armed?
I can't really tell who's who.
PDF talk.
Okay, go forth. Let's see.
I'm representing PDF. I would like to know, would the station be armed in case of someone betraying the trade alliance?
So you want to determine our weapon capability before you attack. Okay, let's make this... let's see.
Can I speak it? Can I please speak as a member of PDF? I'd like to vote against that because A, we can have each faction have their own independent, respawnable station defending as a small satellite as the large station, instead of having everything on one station. Therefore, there's less chance of people being betrayed, and if they do, they will be shot down immediately.
Interesting concept. That's something we could work with, but that would require everyone to have equal, the equal ability to produce a station. Now, I know there are those among us here who are newer and less fortunate.
Oh no, they don't have to be big. They don't have to be big. They can be a single It can be a single defense station around a large one that we all.
So a satellite orbiting a station.
Multiple satellites.
Okay, that'd be an interesting
One
concept.
known for each faction.
Chief, can I amend our original proposition?
What was that?
Can I amend our original propositions?
Okay.
So basically what I was thinking is we could pick a neutral location, preferably central. I was thinking between the Earth and the Moon. We'll set up a beacon, and that'll be a non-combat zone within a predetermined distance that we can decide on.
Is Jack able to make that a safe zone within the server settings?
I feel it would be better if the members of the Federation Alliance, what be it, took it upon themselves to defend the stations.
Arguably, I would like to make a proposition to the council. We would just like to make you aware that listening to events and whispers on the server may be in your benefit, as there's something out there and you should prepare your defenses. With that, we take our leave.
What? Are we getting attacked by Captain Jack?
Are we about
The Raiders likes your idea.
For over 300 years, we've waited. Now, I'll be off. See you later, chaps.
We're getting attacked by Captain Jack.
Ominous!
You spawning and Star Destroyer.
Hey. Alright, clear comms. This isn't here to discuss combat. We're here for peace. I know we have issues. A lot of us have, personal vendettas. We have a lot of history here. And that's okay. That's what makes the server fun. But there needs to be a time when we can all sit down, like this, and discuss things for the mutual benefit of everyone. Because as fun as it is, as fun as it is, fighting and killing everyone every day, wiping them from the face of Earth or any other planet, and starting over again, there needs to be a line. There needs to be a line drawn, at which point we can all, actually trade, talk, communicate without having to worry about being blown out of the sky by a certain faction or another. I think we can all agree on that.
Love you too.
I'll find you later. Anyways. Now,
you too. I'll find you.
Looking forward to it. Okay, so our third and final point. So I think we've actually, to summarize here, someone's got a dog going off.
Dog up.
I haven't seen any dogs in the game yet.
I agree.
Alright, to summarize real quick. So I think we can all agree some establishment of a neutral zone is a good idea. It doesn't have to exactly be a station. It can be multiple things. But we'll work forward to that in the future, and I think the largest factions should all bring equally something to the table to defend it, whether it be certain, ships, weapons, patrols. So we can work on that in the future. I think that can be done between us. But I just wanted to make people aware of this option, and to have recognition and have everyone here. So, our third point...
ask something?
Was that?
May I ask something quickly?
Yes.
I can, with our cargo ship that we got, we can supply instantly 500k steel plates, 250k metal grids, 50,000 minimum of each of the other types of components, and 20,000 ammo of each type.
Okay. So that sounds like the foundation of a good station building. And we'll negotiate what we want exactly as a design, because that comes down to personal preference.
I will deliver the resources, but I will not help with the building.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. I think who here among us are decent designers and builders?
PDF, we have
decent
3
builders.
builders.
Okay.
I can recommend somebody, and there's somebody from my own faction, which is Lord Centurion.
Okay.
I
We
can
can have
recommend
to-
about.
Go for it.
I can recommend about.
Here, one
I
at a
can
time here.
recommend-
Chris, was it? Frost?
we PDF can offer Admiral Skyron for part of the build.
Okay. Anyone else offer?
LCL here. I can offer some assistance in designing.
Okay. So what we'll do after
I would
this-
also like to offer myself.
Okay. So we'll get I think we can have 1 to 2 from each offering faction help assist, but we have to sit down and design it prior. So that's fine, we'll handle that. And personally, I feel like we can offer a lot of resources as well. We'll have to go and see what we have. Alright. Anyone else? Any other things?
That you have turrets on it, but just set them to not shoot small ships. Therefore, it can only be approached by small ships.
Exactly. So actually, we will re-emphasize what he just said. If we establish a station, it comes down to transferring materials. Would we want it only small ships can approach the station? That would be difficult to transfer materials though, so you'd have to find a balance.
Small ships could work. It would take a longer, but it could still work. A small, unarmed cargo ship could still transfer some materials over.
I think that's our best bet going forward, is to have turrets target only large ships that approach. What was that? Okay. Alright, and our third and most important point. This one may not be well received. It's questionable. So, we were looking into establishing a policing force. Now, and so the reason we would do this is because there's been certain aggressive factions that we feel are too aggressive. I'm not gonna name anyone, specifically, but
These aggressive factions may have bigger problems at the moment with Jack's events.
Not being funny, but for a policing force for this whole server, you've got more chance of a porcupine sucking its own arsehole with its spines getting stuck in it.
so I don't think people are receiving that well.
I concur.
Okay, so alright, so let me reemphasize and change what I said then. I don't want a policing force, because I personally enjoy combat as much as anyone else. What I want is at times of conflict that are extreme, or let's say we're invaded by space raiders, cough cough. Let's say we get together, put aside our differences in a moment of peace, and we pursue that event, or that, let's say an overly hostile faction has made a supercarrier that is about to wipe out and destroy the server. Well, if we can join together and one cohesive unit and lead an assault for maybe a day, I think we could do that.
So like a task force?
Here's my question.
A task force.
All get us insurance.
What, like the enemy of our...
Alright, one at a time. Mac?
What, like the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think we can all find common ground in that. Alright, PDF, what did you have to say?
I was going to say...
Until the end of the servers, does that mean the Alders Alliance will go down if on the final battle of the server?
It won't be that long. This will be in moments of events, in moments of things we call to arms.
It's when Jack's arranging events on the server with admins, so we're not shooting each other. We're actually playing the event.
So
we'll actually
Jack now.
I agree with the idea of having a reserve fleet that can come together from multiple locations at once. That would come handy in certain events where space pirate.
Anyone else have anything to say?
Yeah. Could I make the observation that if some faction were to commit an overly hostile act, then any factions allied with that faction need not take it on themselves to defend said faction?
That comes down to the factions. We can't enforce that here. That's a lot to ask.
Well, I mean, I would be happy to concur with that if any overly aggressive faction I were allied with were be judged in...
Define overly aggressive.
I don't know, this is the terminology that Lykaios is throwing around.
Say again? Alright, everyone, one at a time, please.
Well, Payback, I think, asked me to define overly aggressive, and I think I'd throw that one back to Lykaios, as that's the terminology he used.
Before you say that, sir, I'd like you to redefine your definition of allies and friends.
Well, I think it normally comes down to who you are at peace with, doesn't it?
And would you help said friends if they were in trouble?
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay. So, I think we can all agree that in terms of an event, so let's say for last event was a space battle. For those of you who participated, that was a clusterfuck of magnificent proportions.
Oh god, yes.
So, and we didn't stand a chance. We did not stand a chance.
LCL lost 2 ships and a fighter. So, yeah, didn't go too well.
I lost my ship.
Yeah, and so
May I make a suggestion?
Yes, what is it?
Instead of a policing force, what about rules to war?
Okay, like a, what is it now we have?
Like a Geneva Convention.
Like the Geneva Convention, yeah.
Geneva Convention.
War crimes, is that what you're going for here?
But the problem with that is, we can establish the rules, but how are we going to enforce the rules?
That's where you come
Like
back.
blowing one that breaks them out of the sky?
Yes, but...
That's something I would like to speak on. I would like to get as many members as possible to build a welder, a large ship welder at neutral station.
Oh,
so if need be, we can put that list only to guard that neutral. So therefore anyone can access.
So the problem with that is,
Making
would
world
require certain building block limits for multiple people, and they'd better be used somewhere else. So that's not something I can offer here. Maybe in future discussions we can sit down. But I've reiterated the 3 things I want. First, the establishment of a neutral zone. In any proportions, we can discuss that further. Second, the establishment of a neutral, well, a task force, if you will. And then, along with that was the third, ability to trade and communicate between factions. So that's why we've come here today. That's why I've gathered you. And that's what we've discussed. Okay. I think, yeah, I'm out of time. Thank you all for coming. I'm happy it went the way it did. It was amazing. Alright, if you have anything that you'd like to discuss further, you can send me messages or other people messages as well. Feel free. I'm going to allow you to return to your ship. We're actually going to load everyone back up into the transport and break you back to the station. Get on or not, because we're leaving. It's dark. Someone died.
Yeah, that was me.
Alright, all aboard. Alright, that's it.
Do we have enough hydrogen?
I didn't mean to pull
Well,
my
we'll
no one be alarmed. No one be alarmed. Okay, I just want a photo of this.
What's Maddie doing?
I don't know, but I'm about to turn
the
my
hydrogen.
turrets on when we get out.
Yeah, the hydrogen.
You're closing the doors on me.
Somebody's going down the. Like,
Close the doors.
Somebody ground down the hydrogen tank, so you're not going to have any hydrogen.
Well, that sucks. Hey, Soul, get over here. Something's exploding. Who is flying outside the ship? Everyone. Who's this dumbass?
We got no hydrogen, Captain.
Train, take him
Who
out.
do you think is the idiot? Who here is the biggest
Some
idiot?
internal
Obviously.
sabotage. Oracle,
Maddie.
I don't know who it was, but I'm gonna find you.
It was the guy
We don't
who's
have a
standing
back
underneath the
thruster.
ship. Yeah, we don't have a back.
Well, everyone's in their seats. Just turn.
If
the
you're not
turrets.
within the vehicle in the next 10 seconds, I'm just gonna shoot you.
Hey, Lykaios.
Yes.
I would like
Perfect
to
solution.
offer making up
There's still the
Discord
problem that
server.
we don't have a back thrust.
I'm
It's fine. I've flown
That
ships.
was
no.
it.
Oh no.
Oh, God, no.
Oh no. Oh my god.
We all died. There's the down there.
That's sabotage I've never seen before.
What just happened?
Someone got thruster on override.
Everyone except for Lykaios died.
I'm flying to the ship.
Okay, yeah, you guys can return over.
Let's put everyone on the back of the ship and push it.
Everyone's flying.
Someday that would die.